early.
So let's talk about some of the things that happened this week.
It's cracking, man.
Last night was the NFL draft. Did either of y'all catch any of that?
Yeah, so I did catch. I know Trevor Lawrence went.
Trevor Lawrence went first, which we knew that 3 weeks ago.
Second pick was we expected as well.
Another quarterback, Zach
Wilson.
Wilson. Yeah, and I think a quarterback went third too.
Yeah, Trey Lance.
Yeah.
That was Garoppolo.
He's out of there.
Hey, I mean, Garoppolo's like 25, 20. He's out of it. Like, the thing about Trey Lance that they said though is they're like he has his ceiling. They're arguing his ceiling could potentially be the highest of it all, but he actually has to develop. So Jimmy G is actually the perfect quarterback where the 49ers will be like, no, we could keep you in place for a year.
Yeah.
Let him get acclimated.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to throw him in the fire, but Jimmy is the perfect plate at this point. And I don't even want to disrespect Jimmy G because if you really look at, he has a Super Bowl ring. I mean, he got it with the Pats, but he got that ring.
Yeah.
The team record.
So he's been there.
As opposed to when he plays, he has a great starting record in the NFL. He's obviously not durable. We know that. He always gets injured or whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, the way that the 49ers are moving, they really kind of have like everything in place. So they got to be really proactive. Like, one thing I noticed about sports too is like, when you have a window, you really got to be proactive, man. You can't just be assuming like, yeah, we're good. Like, this is our window. If it like, look at the Saints. Like, you know what I'm saying? For the past 3-4 years, they've always been in like real contention, but fall short.
Mm-hmm.
Now Drew Brees is retired, and now you're at that point where it's like we have to restructure this some way. So, that's interesting. Where did Mac Jones went to the Patriots?
Mac Jones went to the Patriots at 15.
They didn't even have the trade.
Yeah,
and
he fell to them.
I think Patriots. Literally, the dynasty just may continue.
Is Mac Jones that tough? It's Belichick. He's coming to a good system.
Coming from that Nick Saban school of thought. Nick Saban and Belichick is like Belichick knows the type of dudes he's after, and I feel like with Mac Jones, like there's Justin Fields there. Justin Fields was there. Where did he go? He went to the Bears, right? That's great for them.
Yeah,
that's great for them. I think teams could have used Justin Fields prior to that pick, but that's great for the Bears because the Bears historically, it's been all bad.
They're coming off of Mitch Trubisky.
Mitch Trubisky, bro. We have to always make note. We were at that draft.
Yeah,
we were at that draft.
They were happy about that.
And the boos were.
No, they weren't happy about that. Yeah, they were there. They were
there
boos.
Some Chicagoans in that day. But anyways,
I'm trying to see if any other notable.
What were the receivers picked in the top 10? There's really some.
So we had
receivers as well, and the tight end. There's the best tight end probably.
Oh, Kyle Pitts went to Atlanta at 4.
Man.
Jamar Chase from LSU went to Cincinnati at 5.
Oh, just a quick shout out. I gotta shout out all my Atlanta Falcon fans. TJ was sick over that pick.
Kyle Pitts.
He was sick.
Why?
Because
Kyle Pitts is tough.
Not
what they needed.
In Atlanta, they're done with Matt.
Oh, they're done.
So like you getting the tight end is them saying, yo, Matt, like here it is.
Yeah,
like,
here's another weapon for you.
Bro,
here's another weapon for you.
No, don't tell us that shit.
Yeah.
Trust me. I think Atlanta would have had a mini parade if they went with Justin Fields.
Really?
I really think that would have been real vibes for the city. I think that would have been clutch. It would have gave him a little short-term problem in terms of how you would off Matt Ryan.
Yeah,
his contract is kind of, it's kind of hefty.
Yeah,
but I know a team need Matt Ryan services. Yeah. But yeah, man, Falcons. I don't know. I think they might have played themselves. The thing is, they can hold their hat on like, yo, we arguably got the best prospect in the draft because he's that lit. But it's like, what is he gonna do for y'all?
Yeah,
y'all already set y'all bar. 25-3 up in the playoffs. I mean,
25. The Super Bowl. Yeah. You said he set the bar. So like I don't think they'll ever return. Yeah. That team is depleted.
The defense is horrible.
That team is depleted. It's like they don't even believe.
Sorry, CJ. I know you probably
he's probably watching.
Spidey senses. Yeah. If he's not, he probably like he's talking shit about my phone.
Yeah. he can sense it. Yeah, that's a big fact. So I definitely want to get into more conversation with Adrian over there. Bro, so you're into marketing. You know what I'm saying? So
give us a whole context basically of what it is that you actually do on a day-to-day business with
Yeah. Give us the context of like who you are, what you do, how you got started, and things like that? Because first of all, I want to get into the marketing thing because that's like, you know what I'm saying? Like Brooke knows. But we're going to get there. Let's kind of set the stage for like who you are and why we should even be listening to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, honestly, just a 24-year-old entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Out here, you know what I'm saying? Trying to find my spot in the world. You know?
Right.
But, you know, doing my company, Summon Marketing. We summon clients. That's what we do. We focus on the digital marketing side of things. And we kind of pivot, you know, with the marketplace, you know, like when we spoke.
Right.
You can tell that I'm not really married to any one service, any one product offering. So, you know, we've adapted from just doing Facebook ads for local businesses to trying to get a little bigger. And then I even told you that I had to turn down requests for videography services and stuff because, you know, the market changes, you know. And my industry is kind of going more to like we'll get you the sale instead of we'll just get you a lead.
Right. Oh, okay.
Before it was like, hey, let's get you a bunch of leads.
Yeah.
To sell cars on your car dealership.
Yeah.
Now it's like, well, all these leads are crap, so I don't want to pay for leads because I've been burned in the past. So what else can you do? And I go, okay, cool. So I'll get you the leads and I'll follow up with them. And I was talking about the virtual assistants with you. You know what I'm saying? Hiring virtual assistants to follow up within 7 minutes and stuff. So, you know, we've adapted to that. And then now it's getting so on to where they just want the whole sale. They don't want to touch nothing. Like you get me sales, you get me, you know, customers through the door and out the door, and then I'll pay you.
And do you say like you hiring these VAs that like enables you to do better customer relationship? Like because I know when we were speaking, you were saying like a lot of that you really like to be hands-on with it because that's really like what you're saying. Like that's where the sale is right there. There's a lot of minute things that actually have a lot of importance, but it's like in terms of the time that you have to spend, it's like, no, this is priority. So I have to do that. So could you speak a little bit about how important like customer relationships is to you and like following up?
Well, customer relations and also, you know, valuing your time and what you're doing. Like how much is this worth an hour versus hiring a $3 an hour virtual assistant in the Philippines to handle it and go do something else. But yeah, customer relations is so important that I thought following up with my clients' customers wasn't as important with just following up with my clients and being like, hey, here's a report for the last 2 weeks. Here's a report for the last month we did for you. And here's how we're doing. Here's our goal. Here's how we made that first goal for you and how we're going for a second goal, you know, just keeping up because they want to know what they're paying for.
Right.
You know,
that's interesting, bro. And I feel like you kind of mentioned you essentially got two clients. You know what I'm saying? Like you essentially got the client that you're working for and you got the client that they have. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like how you broke that down. I'm just thinking like, damn, like you got two folks that you got to kind of take account of, you know what I'm saying? But what it sounds like is you kind of outsource the client's client and then you focus on taking care of the client. Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but in the beginning, a lot of, you know, you wear a lot of hats, you know,
100%. Yeah.
Young entrepreneur, you got it. So I was following up with the leads and then following up with my clients and then following up with new clients and then doing sales meetings for new clients, you know, so you're doing a lot of things. But now the value of outsourcing certain work is definitely important when you have other things you could be doing, you know, and different businesses are different.
Let's take a couple steps back. How did you get started? Like what was your what were you doing like as a kid as far as like for money or like working, like what were your interests as far as like what you thought you'd be doing and what were you putting your energy into?
So I grew up around my dad's tint shop. He had a window tinting business, and they did rims and you know, engine work and stuff like that. So I grew up in there answering phones, stuff like that. I'd go to school, and you know, I was just a pure entrepreneur at the purest level, where you're selling candy in school and stuff like that. Had an extra locker just to hold all the supplies.
For real, nigga had an inventory closet. That's crazy.
Pay people in chips and stuff to use their locker. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people didn't even use their locker.
You know
so I'd be like, yo, let me get your locker, and you know, I'll give you you know, gum every morning.
As a kid, like trading shit is like that's what you do. Like motherfuckers don't even need money; they just need stuff. You know what I'm saying?
System in schools.
Yeah, the barter system is crazy.
Honestly, it came from, you know, me. I looked at like the mafia guys, the local drug dealers. Like that was my heroes when I was young. I wanted to be like them, you know. But I was smart enough to realize I'm not going to sell weed now. So I was just like, you know, what's high value right now? And then in school, a piece of gum at 12 o'clock when you still got 2 hours left, a piece of gum could change your life.
Bro, did they used to like ban gum from y'all schools? Okay, yeah. It was like contraband, like low key. Like, yeah, I thought I was the only one that had that experience, or not the only one, but the only school experience where it's like motherfuckers banned, like you couldn't chew gum. It made no sense. Like,
it was worse to have bags of chips because it's loud. So you're
yeah. And
that was my bread and butter, so they didn't like me.
Yeah. Oh my God. I used to think about too, like how in schools they do not fuck with you being entrepreneurial.
No.
They do not fuck with that. Like, you get in trouble for like having a little side businesses, little side hustles. You get in trouble for shit like that.
And it's so
is that backwards?
Yeah, it's very weird. Like a lot of education is like institutionalized to the point where it's like this is the curriculum and there's no fluidity or flexibility.
Yeah, none.
Like for instance, right? You might be that individual within your class that's challenging the teacher, not to challenge you, like in terms of annoying you or fuck up the pace of this shit. But somebody could actually offer a real point. Now, this teacher can literally shut it down or ego-wise be like, no, it's not like that. It's like this. And it's like, no. Or you can open up the conversation. Or more oftentimes than not, it's like when you're that young, it's like your age literally will make people lead like you're trying to divert or you're trying to break the focus.
It's like they won't even pay attention to you or what you're saying.
Exactly. Or they won't even necessarily won't even be aware of the fact where it's like, no, like I've actually retained all this information that you're saying. Like I'm trying to understand.
And I'm making the point. Yeah. I'm past that. I'm past that.
And it's not, and it's literally, and sometimes like, you know, it's funny because now I've been actually having a lot of conversations with people that actually stop like in high school. Like they actually stop and they're literally say like, no, they had a talk with their parents. They're like, I can't do this shit. Like, they're not telling me what I need to know. And I was like, that is such a, you know, sometimes I take a step back at that perspective and I'm like, you know, it's so crazy growing up. I always just thought shit was like, it had to be this way. I never thought there was like real people that were even on a scholarly level were like, no, fuck school. This shit is not helping me actually.
Yeah.
I never learned about these things. They're not teaching me about this. I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Because I'm so not even to get caught up in like fuck shit or whatever, but it's just literally it's like, no, I know what I want to do. I know what I want to learn. That is it.
Yeah.
And
they don't think kids can make that decision. Man. First of all, they look at you as kids. You know what I'm saying? But like
sometimes you gotta look at the parentals and you gotta be like, dog, y'all have to notice that. Because at the end of the day, you're the one that puts your child in the school.
Yeah.
And it's like as a parent, sometimes it's like we gotta be a little bit more aware and try to see what it is that our children are inclined to, or this is what you want to do. And it's like a lot of kids act up. Like a lot of people say, oh, ADHD, and some people, oh, they're not getting it. We have to also speak for a lot of the children where it's like, no, I get all this, so I entertain myself.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm actually like, I should be in a class where it's like a little more higher learning or shit. This shit is more geared towards me, but you teaching me shit that's literally, it's going in one ear out the other because it's like, I'll do this. Like, I don't know. I'm pretty like, I always, had people, no matter what stage of academia I was in, there was always some people that was like, yo, wild out, just be everywhere at the same, but get straight fucking A's like it was nothing. I didn't have to study or nothing. Like, and then when I would talk to these people, even outside of class, shit like that, dog, how the fuck are we doing that? Like,
I used to be wondering,
how do you just, and like it'd be funny because even then they would crack jokes like it, like you really wouldn't get it, but now you know in hindsight you'd be like, damn, like. Some people's learning curves are just built differently.
Yeah.
Sometimes some people retain information. And the saddest thing that I feel with school is people don't, like a lot of children don't get those actual skills cultivated. Like they'll be great on a talent level or like have this type of genius level to it, but nobody notices it and nobody cultivates that. So they end up doing some other shit. But you're supposed to be doing that, what you're really like gifted at, but none of your surroundings was here to cultivate that or show you like, yo, fuck all that shit.
Yeah.
You need to do this. And I think that's a big,
it's fucked up. I mean, it's fucked up because, you know, it's a slippery slope, man. Like 100%. It's hard to tell like what a kid actually has talent in and what you should kind of like rear them towards, because you know like there's also like a fine line between like getting kids to do like something. A kid could be talented at something but just not be interested in taking it as seriously as they need to like make it work for them. You know what I'm saying?
Isn't that what like a Montessori school is? Like,
yeah, like those joints that focus on like a specific trade or something, and they
like I thought the one that Jeff Bezos went to, I think he talked about they see what you're interested in and good at, and they kind of pull you aside and let you focus on that.
Yeah. I've heard of Montessori schools. Yeah, I think that's they're my understanding of it was like they'll definitely like they'll rear you towards things that you're interested in.
I mean,
not in the traditional
think
school
about
way.
the overlying, aspect of a lot of like public academia. It's really to make sure that you'll be a good worker at the end of the day.
100%. Yeah.
Instruction, like, bro, single file line. Like, what the fuck? Hey, bro, here.
Single file.
Like, yo, it's really kind of crazy. Like, they're like, yo, do this. Like, walk in the joint. Yo, everybody stand up, pledge. Like, we doing this shit. Pledge, boom. So a lot of things were like, no, we're not questioning this. We're gonna do this, and all y'all just gonna do this, and we're gonna put repercussions if you don't do this.
Yeah.
And then it's really crazy. And then think about the diagnoses that go down in the nurse's office. Like, who is it? Like, I don't know what I'm really thinking about.
It's not even a nurse. Like, who is the nurse?
Like, yo, who are you? Like,
yeah.
You're really telling kids to you got ADHD. I'm gonna subscribe, and they have the power to go to the doctor. Like, they should check that.
The school nurse. Really we need a fact check on that. Like, our school nurses actually nurses. Like, where are they coming? I've never heard a nurse. I'm around a bunch of nurses nowadays. You know what I'm saying? I've never heard a nurse say, "Oh, I work in a school." Never heard one say that. Never heard one say that. We need to check up on that. But let's get back to your story, Adrian. Let's get back to your story. That's right. So now, we were getting in trouble for being in school selling shit, and then how did that turn into becoming a businessman?
And just like you're saying, for some reason I dropped that. Like in middle school, I remember like, nah, I'm not gonna sell nothing no more because there was too much friction.
It's not worth the friction.
Yeah, and there's so much going on when you're in middle school, high school, trying to impress everybody. So I feel like I just dropped that for a while.
Right.
And I mean, at 9 to 12 years old, if you'd asked me what I'm doing when I grow up, I'd have been like, oh, I'm probably gonna run one of my dad's shops. You know what I'm saying? Help him franchise. And I would use words like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna get into. My dad's probably gonna expand, open a few more shops, and I'll run one and maybe branch off and do another business. Like, that's the stuff as a little kid I was thinking of. So that's probably how it started. You know what I'm saying? To answer your question is the purebred entrepreneurship of really just, it sucks to say, but really just wanting to be a drug dealer, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought that was the coolest.
Or have those benefits. The benefits of it. I can relate for sure.
Yeah, so that's where it started. I mean, you got when you know people in the neighborhood like don't have to go to school, like the high school kids like skipping school to go get money. Regardless of what they're doing, it's like that was just the life to me.
100%.
My dad and his friends, and they're working at the shop, but they're chilling, they're having fun. They might be smoking here and there, So I'm like, that's the life I want to do. Every time I was outside of school, I was like, this is what I want. I hate being in there, field trips, everything. I was like, I hate being in that building. I want to just whatever I do, I want to be out here.
What was your like aha moment, or when did you start to be a little bit more introspective in terms of like what it is that you want to do? Because I know you just said, I always thought, I'll just follow my dad's business and things like that. So when did you start having that mind of your own when you're like, you know what, that's probably not going to be the case, and I need to find a niche of mine. I need to find something that I can like stand on and be like this, and then start developing that. When did that moment come for you where it was like, was it an aha moment, or did you slowly just grow into this?
Definitely slow. But I would say the first spark of that was when I was heavy in skateboarding in my kind of early teens. So I was skating, and then there was no skate shops in our area. All my friends would come meet up at my dad's shop. It was right by Shady Grove Station, so we were right there. Everybody would meet up right there, and it really started when my dad and grandfather was like, yo, you want to start your own skate shop? Well, I might have brought it up. They might have brought it up, but I ended up starting my own skateboard shop inside their shop. They funded it, put a few grand into it.
Wow. What year is this?
I had to have been like 12 years old, bro.
Oh, so, it's very, very tough, bro. Very tough.
Like this is probably right before my dad lost his shop because of the 2008 crisis. You know what I'm saying? So, so it's probably around there. Honestly, it was probably 2008 when that happened. And, maybe he was trying to make some extra revenue because he knew what was coming.
I was about to say that's a great support. That's a great show of support. But also, it's like good for business just to have motherfuckers coming in. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I like the fact that they let me kind of have the freedom to be like, what do you want to do? What do you want to order? I remember we were looking at the commercial pages, like what to order. And there was the stuff that I know kids like when I go to the skate shop. They like the Thunder trucks, the independent trucks. But then my grandfather was like, yo, that's expensive. Let's get the off-brand shit. That's like starting a shoe store and selling Shacks. And, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's like, nah, like no one's
people aren't going to come here and buy this. You know what I'm saying?
If you didn't know what people wanted and you're just looking at the books, you're like, yeah, but
this is cost effective. Yeah.
You know, so.
But you don't know that no one's going to buy these from us. No one's going to buy.
I did.
No, yeah. Big facts. Yeah.
So I'm like, nah. So we ended up selling out everything I wanted to buy. The Thunder trucks. And I'm pretty sure my friends actually bought them all. And I mean, to this day, we probably still got stuff in the garage that my grandfather ordered. You know, just
word. Yeah.
It
just never sold.
But that didn't work out. And to answer your question, what started making me realize was honestly the music. When we was making music in high school around the same time,
we did.
I was rapping. We was in different crews and stuff making music. And I remember I was thinking about it only as a business. Like I was like, all right, when do we do this? When do we structure this? At what moment are we making this amount? You know, and all my friends, it was just a lifestyle. And I couldn't say all my friends, but the mass majority of people I was around, it was a lifestyle.
And what age are we talking right now?
I would say this is like 2012, like 16.
Okay, yeah. So motherfuckers aren't gonna think making music to do business. They're gonna be because like you want to at least look like a musician. You know what I'm saying?
The funny thing is, my father, was a rapper too. From his late teens to early 20s. I mean, all the way probably up until he's 30. I remember when he's 30, we went to the studio and I was young. I was probably 9 years old.
And it's funny that you're actually telling me that's your perspective of it, because I'll tell you straight up, bro. I definitely walked into this man's studio like when I was like 2012, 2013. When I had a whole collective. I had like a little POT brand that I started up with my friends and whatnot. We wanted to do a little photo shoot at the studio that he had as well too. So we did that and we're recording. But I'll tell you right now, I was definitely under that lifestyle realm. I wanted it. I wanted it to be a business. That's what we LLC'd it and make it a business. We're official. But like, had no fucking.
I mean, dog, I feel like that's normal for a kid. You know what I'm saying? I was 21, 22 when I first started making music, like seriously, and even that, I was just like, the making of the song was it. Like, I worked today.
It's not more so to beat myself up, but it's like it's also just to talk about. You see how environmental factors will play a role. Like, you're talking about Adrian. You are coming from a family of a lot of people that have just entrepreneurship. They're trying to start their own thing. You see all of that. So your whole perspective with music is like, can we generate a revenue? Like, that's the background that I come from. So I'm literally thinking like that, as opposed to like someone that's not coming from type of entrepreneurial background, but now you're entering into something that is very much entrepreneurial, but it's passion. It's passion led. Like it's 99% passion led, and it's like we don't even really understand the minutia of business. And not to be honest, at that time, if somebody was trying to break it down to me, like, "Yo, bro, I'd probably be like, "Bro, like, I know, like, we gotta focus on the creation of it.
The creativity is what matters."
I'm more so thinking like, "Wow, that's so crazy." Like even at that moment, I didn't even necessarily even realize even the contrast of like how I had viewed it as to like how you viewed it. You're literally thinking like, "Dog, it gotta make sense." Like, the numbers add up. I'm not thinking about no. I'm like, yo, let's make. This is hard. This is hard.
And that's drop it. Because when you came to that studio, I remember that day we had that photo shoot. Right after that, that started the wave of us like doing more videos and collaborating with more people. And to be honest, we were like, we envied you because of what you were doing with POT, bro. I'm like,
and it was you and PK at the time, right? Yeah.
Wadi said that's what we were doing, and I saw you with the POT brand. I'm like, bro, I thought you were the one that had the business mindset.
Like, we need to be like them.
I'm pretty sure a few months after that, we got jerseys made with Wadi said and the numbers and stuff because we just need to be official. But from that, I was actually doing more producing around there. That's why I had that studio. People would pay me to do their mixing and stuff and recording. So that was the first part of it. And then all the way until about, I would say like 19 years old is when I started seeing other opportunities pop up and realizing like, bro, I'm not going to be the next Drake. Like, let's just be honest. You know what I'm saying? I started realizing like, I told my boy, it was just me and one dude at this point. The whole crew had just faded out. It was just me and my one boy, Shabazz. And I was like, bro, we're pretty fire, but our music alone, our lyrics alone are not going to get us to that second mile. So I was like, I want to step back from this. I'll manage you. You can keep running the music. I want to step back and go build some wealth, make a lot of money, and then come back and put like 10 grand into a video and go viral.
100%.
That's what's going to get us to go out there.
And you actually do have to put some money behind it. Like it's just kind of a fool's game to trying to do it without it. You know what I'm saying? It's like you said, like your plan made more sense where it's like, let me go figure out how to make some money somewhere else and then bring that here. Because once you can inject money into like a music career, then you can start to see some kind of return. People just have to get exposed to your shit. You know what I'm saying?
Your results better. Like now you can gauge your result. You actually
you can gauge. You can see like, okay, like if I had enough budget to get 100,000 people to see or hear this song and they don't like it, then I have a good sense. If it's 10 people and 8 of them like it, that's not even a good sample size. You know what I'm saying?
Right, 100%.
Yeah. So we would we was doing music with actually I featured with 2 dudes that were kind of popular in Tennessee, and I looked at my views on SoundCloud, and if you look at the map, all my views were like 90% of them were from Tennessee, and I'm like. I grew up in the DMV. I handed out mixtapes at Norfolk High School. No one's
never got this much support.
Like the 10 people in the DMV are like my mom, my
And
then in Tennessee, people are like, "Yo, this shit's hard. Yo, I rock it." So honestly, if I was passionate about it, we could have pushed it. Now that I look back onto it, we started doing shows and stuff. People were booking us. So I'm like, I definitely could have done something with that. I just didn't have the passion, bro. I wanted to be a businessman. That's what I wanted.
So what was the first like business play outside of music that you kind of decided to go make?
So it kind of connected back to the family business. So my father had remarried, and his new wife, her father had just passed away and had a janitorial business around the time that we were entering their family, you know. And her mom, my stepmother's mom, was running it, and she didn't really know what she was doing. So my dad came in as the COO because he ran a business before. He was running the operations, chief of operations. And then I came in as a janitor. I was just cleaning toilets, bro, doing day porting and stuff. And then it's funny. I started learning about manifestation, reading The Secret and stuff. And I remember manifesting it was so weird because manifest is like timing, putting the energy into it, and then actually trying.
So this is like 2013, 2014.
This is probably 2016. Okay, I was probably like 20 at this point. So I started trying to manifest. I was like, how much money? And I was in a car club too. So I wanted rims for my Crown Vic and stuff like that. So I was like, how much money do I need to be happy? And I remember thinking like 5,500. It was a weird word. It was a weird number.
A month or 50? Oh, okay. I was about to say you need 5,500.
I remember like I could buy a set of rims every summer. I could do this. I could do that. So I remember saying I want my own operation. It doesn't have to be my own business, but I want my own little operation. And I was thinking like this could be weed. This could be whatever. I just need to make $5,500 a month. Get my own place, buy another car, whatever. So it was weird. Like a month after that, some stuff happened in the business. And my dad never, like, he was running the business, but he never was like, yo, I'm going to push you up because you're my son. It was always like, yo, you deserve this raise. You're now making 12. Yo, you've been working hard. Now you get this building. Out of nowhere, he was like, yo, we really need a subcontractor. Like, we don't want to hire for this. So there were certain contracts in the janitorial space where instead of hiring someone and the headache of paying the taxes and all that, you just get a subcontractor who has his own team. And you say, hey, we're making $5,000 a month on this contract. We'll give you 3. You know what I'm saying? Or 4, whatever. We'll give you the supplies and all that. So he was like, yo, we need a new subcontractor. And he was like, would you want to do that? And I'm like, yeah, what does it pay? He was like, well, between these 2 buildings, after you pay a couple employees, you may be making about $5,500 a month. I was like, it's
the exact number I needed.
Bro. The exact number. What I wanted, not my own business, but my own operation. Like the exact money I needed. So it was so weird. So that's when I started not only looking at business different, but looking at life different. I was like, yo, you can really manifest. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, that's so interesting that you say that, because the biggest change that happened for me was realizing, like, the moment you decide what you want, you're gonna, as long as you're putting energy towards it and like trying, my thing is to try. Like, if you try, you will see that like the things that you're trying to attain, they'll come. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really just have to try every day or try a lot.
Not only will wanting it open the doors that can get you there, it might open a door that puts you on the path to getting
there.
Not only will wanting it do that, but putting the work in will have things around you happen to where good luck.
Good luck, bro. Like, good luck. Sometimes you can't even explain it. Like, it's not luck because you know what you've done behind the scenes, but like, it's luck because you don't know how it lined up that way. You know what I'm saying?
I wasn't cleaning toilets, not that I like doing it, but if I wasn't cleaning toilets for that year or 2 year time, my dad would have never even thought to be like, you know what, we need a subcontractor, we need someone solid. Why don't I just ask my son? Like, he didn't even thought of that. So the fact that I was working hard and not being like, man, I'm not cleaning toilets, like, I'm a rapper, I do this, I'm in a car, like, I humbled myself and was like, I'm just gonna work, bro. Like, it is what it is.
So let's fast forward a little bit to how that turned out to your career now.
So That only lasted a few months.
Okay.
Janitorial. And I jumped really, my first month, my first check, I remember looking at it like, I'm getting out of my parents' house. I'm buying a new car, yada, yada. So I got my first apartment, my own apartment, you know, moved out my parents' house. And like I said, it only lasted a few months, got a, you know, new Chrysler 300 and stuff. I was feeling myself.
Yeah.
And then I lost all my contracts. The business got sold to another owner. Owner came in and said, yo, we need to take you out. So I lost.
Your folks' business got sold?
Yeah, they sold to someone else.
Yeah.
And my dad was out, my stepmom's mom was out, everyone was out, and it was just me. And they were like, yeah, we're going with
someone else.
Yeah. So they pulled me out. Oh, they pulled me out of one contract, and I was just bitter. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, take the other one then. Fuck it.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like,
Right.
Not that I like doing it anyways. You know?
Yeah.
So I pulled out of that, and then I had, you know, rent to pay and stuff like that. So I started looking at, you know, how to make money online.
Big facts. Everybody starts with Google. Go to how to make money, how to make money quick, or how to make some good. Yeah, big facts. Big facts.
It was between trying to flip some bricks or start an online business.
Big facts. Big facts. The only options in 2016, 2017.
Yeah. So I started an e-com business.
You didn't talk to that point because you got that number that you had actually manifested. So now you're at that point, like it can't be less than 5,500. Is that what you're thinking? Like, you're like, it has to be more. Like, I'm not settling for less.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. No, I wanted 10 grand now.
Right. See?
Yeah.
I wanted 10 grand because I'm like, you know, I'm living in an apartment with my people and stuff. I have my, you know, my boy move in, his girl, got my girl, and I'm like, this is too tight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got dogs. I want a backyard. So like, I'm starting to like, I'm moving really quick, bro.
Yeah.
A month into getting my first apartment, I'm like, I need my first house.
Yeah, bro. It's so funny. I be on that same shit. Like, once you get the thing that you want, it's like, I wanted this when I was working for it. Now that I have it, like, I want to work for something else, like something bigger. You know what I'm saying? I feel that.
Yeah. So I started e-com business, a little e-commerce store on Shopify, and didn't work. I didn't understand the marketing, so I thought I'd build the store, put the products on there. I was selling like girls beach attire and stuff like that, like tote bags,
wholesale
beach
markets.
stuff.
You were just
I was drop shipping from Oberlo. If you go on Shopify, they already have that ready for you.
Yeah, big facts.
Oberlo connects Shopify and Alibaba. So
big facts.
And they send it out for you. I was selling backwood hoodies too.
Word.
So that was
them dresses probably selling.
They were
good. Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. So I did that, but I didn't understand the marketing side of it. I thought you launch your store and you're rich the next day. You know what I'm saying? So me and my boy, we launched the store and nothing happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't make any sales. And I'm like, rent's due, my car payments due, got $500 car payment. Like, we need to make some money, man. So I started getting into, you know, why did this not work? How did I fail? What did I do wrong? And then I realized that it was marketing, digital marketing. They're like, you need to learn Facebook ads and SEO and all this. And so I started taking courses, and my boy would wake up like 2 a.m. to get some water, and I'd be in the kitchen just like studying and all this stuff. He'd be like, bro, what are you doing? I'm like, trying to make it, bro. Like,
big facts, man.
So I did that, man. And then literally that was about 4 to 6 years ago. And ever since then, I've been just studying marketing, bro. Just like I started realizing how important this is in our world and in business. Appreciate it, bro. And yeah, that's all I've been doing now.
Yeah.
You know?
I actually have a question about if you're willing to get into like some marketing like tactics, because like I'm super interested in what's happening with marketing. Obviously, like I got a brand that I am trying to get out there, so I'm always, for years I've been like, I've just always been into what are interesting ways to like get your shit out there, right?
Yeah.
And it's changing so much, bro. It's changing like so much. So like my question for you is, when you're working with small businesses like today, where do you kind of start with them? Where do you tell them that they need to focus their time right now? Because there's so many places. It could be Instagram, it could be Facebook, it could be TikTok, it could be all these, and those are just the social medias. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it could be all these places. Where do you suggest one starts if they're getting started like right now and have like virtually no following?
Yeah, I mean, well, if they have no following, I would say build your following.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can do business on Instagram, build your Instagram audience. If you can do business on TikTok, build your TikTok audience. But that's slow. So before that, I would say study your market, study your product offering. Like me and you were talking about, you got to have a product offering that fits the market. Go ask people if they're willing to buy this, and if they are, how much, and if they didn't have it, how bad would their life be without it? You know, because if not, what are you selling? You know, what are you doing?
And so like the thing is, you really do have to have a product. You have to have something that you're trying to get to people. Product or service. Big facts. Yeah.
So and then the second thing would be your audience. So once you know that you're there's an audience for it and people want it, is okay, what's that audience? What do they look like? And then you make that audience avatar, is what I like to call it. So this is where I usually come in. The product research is more like business development, but luckily I like that too. But if I'm talking to a client, if me and you were talking, I would be like, all right, you got a product, you got an audience. Let's define your audience. Let's build at least 1 or 2 audience avatars. You know what I'm saying? So you build an avatar, literally what's their name, what's their age, what do they do, what are their miracles and miseries. So miracles and miseries, what are their miracles? Like what makes them happy in life, what makes their day, what makes their day easier, what are they looking to get that dopamine rush? Is it you know what I'm saying? So there's that, and then their miseries are, you know, what makes their life suck, you know, how can you help them, you know what I mean? So like if you run a car repair business, people's misery is their car gets broken, you got to fix it, you know what I'm saying? Like if you run a hair salon, you know, their miracle is they feel good when they get their hair done, you know what I'm saying? So the miracles and the miseries, so you got to literally make that avatar of your audience, you know, literally give that person a name, an age, and all that. And then now when you're targeting your audience, you're looking at that girl named Marie at 25 years old who buys beauty supplies, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. So then you go, okay, so I'll market to that type of, it makes it easier when you're trying to market to your audience, because I can run paid ads for you, but who are we running? Who are we
running them to? Yeah, that's very interesting.
I like that whole, like, basically the avatar is basically like a rubric in essence.
Yeah,
this is the person you appeal to. This person, you appeal to your audience. Like, you make it resonate.
I've heard that a lot too. Like, you definitely have to like know who your customer is. Like, not have an idea. You got to like know, so like you can pinpoint who your marketing is for. You know what I'm saying? Like the content and stuff that you make, you got to be able to pinpoint who it's for. Because there's this. It's kind of backwards how we see getting our thing out there, right? We think that we should be broadening it to talk to as many people as possible, but that's not right, right? You definitely want to talk to a specific person because there's people like that person. There's probably billions of people that are like that person, but if you're not talking to that person, you're talking to like a bunch of people, then like you're not really hitting home with anybody. You're not really resonating with anybody.
Yeah, I mean, if you're on Facebook running ads, you can run a $200 ad to 1 million people, or you can run a $200 ad to 20 people. You know what I'm saying? That $200, you know what I'm saying? You ever heard the rule of 7? They got to see your ad 7 times for them to wake up.
I've heard of things like that. You definitely got to touch a lot of bases before people even like pay attention to what you got going on.
The old, in the old style of marketing, when you got a commercial or billboard, it's like someone has to see that commercial or billboard 7 times before they wake up and go, you know what? Now I know that brand. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
So with that, you know, putting out as much content as possible, or you know what I'm saying, like just doing whatever you got to do to get in front of those people. But like I said, if you only had a $200 or $2,000 budget, you can cast a big net, or you can cast a very thin net and then keep casting because that $200, Facebook's going to give you the same value regardless.
Yeah.
Whether it's showing it 1 time to 1 million people or 5 times to 200,000 people, you know. So
that's interesting.
Yeah.
So my question with small businesses, how do you go about? Because like you're getting clients for clients, but how do you go about getting clients? Like, what is your strategy for getting your own self out there?
Yeah, so there's a few different routes we can go. I like to hire VAs for that.
Yeah,
it's the easiest thing to do. But if I was doing it myself, I would just get like a LinkedIn premium account and have that send out as much messages as possible. I hate getting messages on LinkedIn.
That's you know what's interesting, bro? Because that's actually a good question too. Like, do you feel a way about doing the tactics that you don't respond to?
Yeah,
do you feel a way? But you have to because it works.
I had to get over it.
Yeah,
but I hated it. Like I don't click on Facebook ads. Once I click on it, I'm gonna go on Google. I'm gonna go on TikTok. I'm gonna get targeted.
Yeah. When I find myself in the middle of a sales funnel, I'm like, why am I here? I know what they're doing, but sometimes I need the thing. Like they're hitting, like I got those miseries and those miracles. They're talking to me, but it's like I know exactly what I'm doing. I know exactly how y'all got me here, and I don't like being tricked.
I love it.
No, I do love it. I like to learn from it. I like to learn from it. I'm gonna be real.
By things I don't want to target. Me and my cousin were talking about hockey sticks the other night, and I'm looking at Facebook. I got hockey sticks. There's no way, bro. There's no way. So that I don't like. But no, when I'm in like a I don't know if anyone knows Russell Brunson. He's like
the ClickFunnels guy, right?
Whenever I'm in his sales funnel, I love it because I know he's the best at sales funnels. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And that's something I want to offer to my future clients. Yeah, in the sales funnel. So I'm like looking at that, like, all right, what happens if I click this? What happens if I leave? And then I get an email saying, hey, you left. You want 50% off?
Like, you take notes on all of the steps of it. Yeah, I do as well.
That's honestly where, in my opinion, that's where it's at. If you have a course, like I was telling you, if you do a videography course, bro, and then put it on get a sales funnel through ClickFunnels, bro, that will change your life.
Yeah.
Especially if people buy it. You know what I'm saying? Because you're recording your product. Maybe you record your course. Maybe it takes you 2 weeks to refine it and all that. Then you're done, bro. Then you get someone like me to market it.
Right.
And you just keep getting a report and notifications every day saying, hey, just sold another one, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
In your sleep, you know.
Passive.
Yeah. I love that. I love that business.
Dog. You're right. You're right. I see it happen all the time.
The day after we had talked about that, literally our next show when I came to Meg, I was talking. I was like, "Yeah, bro, this tutorial bag." And you're like, Meg was even like, "Yeah, I thought about it." Like,
but you spoke to the point of just like, you know, taking the time to make it, to prepare it. You know what I'm saying? Like in my head, it wouldn't even take 2 weeks. It would take like, you know, a couple months because like you got to write the curriculum, and then you got to record it, and then either you edit it or somebody edit it. But like either way. I'm starting to realize these days, because even when I was making music, I definitely came up in that time when it was like regular practice to like make something and then put it out right away. Like you don't sit on things, and you really don't take like 3-4 months to work on one thing. You know, like that's so foreign to me. But now I'm realizing like, no, like that's what all the great things come from, or that's where all the great things come from. Like, you know, Kanye doesn't make an album in 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? This nigga will make an album for like months. You know what I'm saying? You know, your favorite directors don't make movies in months. They make them in years. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm starting to try to unwind my mind from thinking, oh, like what I'm working on today needs to be out tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Because once you do have the product done and it's a good product, it can, you know, it can sell on its own forever. You know what I'm saying?
Like that Amazon mindset, you know, where Jeff Bezos says the meetings we're having today are for next
quarter.
Next year's.
Yeah.
If we're in Q3 right now and we're having a meeting, it's about next year's Q3. 3 years down the line is Q3. You know?
And it's like, even to follow up, because in that same talk that he was talking about, like, it's not what we always stress. Even these disciplines are not naturally like human. Like, you actually have to train yourself to be planning for things that are months in advance, because literally like our physiological needs, we're thinking about the right now. Let alone sometimes it'd be like, I'll make a creation, I might want to post it right now.
I do.
And I have to be like,
it's not even done. I just want to give them the sneak peek. Like, it's not even done yet. See what I've been working on for the last couple hours.
You know what makes that easy though? My bad to cut you off. Patrick Bet-David, he runs the YouTube channel Valuetainment.
Yeah, Valuetainment. I fuck with Pat. I
love that channel.
Yeah,
and
he talks to everybody. He talks to so many people. Like
anybody. He's not scared to debate anybody. Like, he's a capitalist, he'll debate socialists.
I mean, as far as like celebrities, not just celebrities, but like people who have done things that they made a lot of fucking money, but you might not even know who they were. He talks to mob bosses. He talks to marketing guys. Like, he talks to like everybody.
He just wrote a book called Your Next 5 Moves, and it's like a chess grandmaster type of thing. Like, what are your next 5 moves? And he's like, if you're not thinking 5, 10, 15 moves into the future, there's somebody that is, and they're gonna take you out. You know, so it's that easy. So, and that's what will make it easy, bro. If you line out your next 5 moves, like what is, you know, you start with your 5th move. You don't start now or tomorrow. You start 5 years down the line, 5 months down the line. What's your move going to be? What's your, you know what I'm saying? What's that move? And then you go, okay, before that happens, what do I have to do? Before that happens, what do I have to do? All the way back to your current self. And you go, okay, cool. So now I know my next move times 5. You know, what I'm doing. So
that makes sense.
Bro. I feel like a reoccurring thing that I just been having in terms of, like, I guess, getting things completed and moving with purpose. Like, with a lot of these things, we really have to think backwards. You really got to start at where it is that
where you want to end up,
and now work back. And then literally once you find yourself at your starting position, you're like, I kind of have some type of semblance of what I have to do now, as opposed to like, it's forward. Like, I can't be there. So like, I don't know. I got to freestyle and do whatever. It's like, no, put yourself in the mind of the person that has it established. And like what you said, 5 years from now, what is it that you will be doing? What will this company be? And just ruminate on that exactly like that. How did you get to this point? Oh, because I put this in place. This, and then when I really think about it, it's kind of like you're really, when you work backwards in that way, it's kind of like you're really giving yourself a true checklist. Like, now this is what is needed.
Yeah,
like,
I struggle with that. I struggle with that because I feel like I've seen so much. I guess, like, success in just bowling through and like figuring it out as I go. You know what I'm saying? It's become my habit. You know what I'm saying? But it's interesting because, like, we talked about manifesting, and I feel like manifesting is a form of looking down the line of like what you want to end up with. So like, I do that, you know what I mean? I do a little bit of that, but I feel like for the most part, like wherever I feel like I can go with it, right? Like I think what I'll do is I'll spend like, 20 minutes thinking about, okay, what's the end look like? And like after that 20 minutes, it's like, okay, like what do I got to do right now to get there? Whereas like, I don't necessarily think, okay, what's the end look like? What does the step before that look like? What does the step before that look like? Yeah. It's
kind of like, let me just make a bridge.
Yeah.
Instead of like, oh, I'm here.
Yeah.
All right, but I'm right here.
Yeah.
So how do I get like, nah, take it back. Nah, 100%. But like, it's kind of like you do have both. You do keep both of them in mind. Like you do like, I know what I see this being, but I know where I'm at. Yeah. And it's kind of like, just working that gray space in the middle. Well, how do we get here?
Yeah. Adrian, how do you think marketing has like changed from when you first got into it to like today? I guess it's definitely changed, but like in what ways have you seen it? Like what ways have you literally had to adjust?
Yeah, man. I mean, marketing changes. I mean, decades.
Yeah, literally all the time.
Decades ago, we were doing TV commercials and stuff like that.
Before that, it was radio. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So, I mean, they're still doing TV commercials, but I like to look at it how Gary Vee looks at it. He says the day trade attention.
Day trading attention,
so like TikTok is hot now, so why wouldn't you be on TikTok?
Yeah.
The ads are underpriced, and that's what I think it is certain ad platforms are getting underpriced and overpriced. So 4 years ago when I started, Facebook was like a cheat code. Like it was so cheap and there was so much data. You could target someone on their income if they're married. If they bought a house recently, and they took all that away. Facebook was in front of.
Wait, no, there you can still. You can't target on those specific things. Okay.
And that's a wild targeting.
Yeah. Because I feel like Facebook's targeting is still pretty intricate, but I see what you're saying. Like they took away some of the things that were important. Okay,
the ones that were home runs for almost every business. You know what I'm saying? So. I mean, because if you can target someone on their income,
that's it. You know what I'm saying? You know how much they make. You know what I'm saying?
But I like now, if you have an e-commerce business, which right now they're actually, my girl just tried to start an e-commerce business, and I didn't know, but it's not the time to do that because Facebook is literally banning your ad account before you even get started, just to make sure, and they put you through a process where they make sure you're not fake, I guess. I don't know if that has to do with the tampering in the election in 2016. I don't know why they're doing that, but right now they're not letting anybody do that without looking at what you're doing first. And so it's really weird, but yeah, as far as day trading attention, the way stuff has changed. Like I said, Facebook used to be cool. Now it's a little overpriced. Now TikTok is underpriced and Snapchat's.
Wait, can we touch on the e-commerce thing real quick? Yeah. Wait, so you're saying that it's not a good idea to do e-commerce right now?
Start it now.
To start it now.
Brand, if you don't have a secure
already established something.
If you're not established,
like from scratch,
getting on Facebook now, starting an ad account. As soon as you say, "Yeah, I'm a Shopify store, I'm an e-commerce, we sell online," instantly that's a red flag for Facebook. I have no idea why they're doing that. But it happened to my girl, so I looked into it. And
is this for primarily Shopify accounts or like
not sure
if okay, that's interesting.
E-commerce in general.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Anything, and then people are getting scammed. You know what I'm saying? I know my grandfather tried to buy something for Christmas. He got scammed, never got it or something.
And is that on? So I'm trying to get an understanding of what this is about. Is this in the sense of like trying to sell on Facebook? Because you know how Facebook allows you to like put your products on there from your store.
Like sometimes I have no intention of selling. They're like,
want to add? Yeah, do you want to add this to your Facebook market or something like that? So is it that, or it's like just like if you're trying to link back to your store with your ads, they flag all of that.
So when you're setting up your ad account, so you got your Facebook account, your business page, and then when you want to start running ads, you have
you have the ad account.
Facebook.business.com or adsmanager.com, one of those. So you got to have your business page and your ad account. When you start your ad account, they ask you a series of questions, and from my perspective, I think if I was Facebook, this is how I would do it. I would, as soon as they say I'm an e-commerce brand, I sell online, red flag. You know what I'm saying? For what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm not sure why they're doing that.
That's really interesting.
Other people in the space are saying it's because, you can sell anything. People overseas are kind of trying to tamper with certain things in America and stuff like that. So I'm not sure. But yeah, so Facebook isn't really the best place right now. I mean, certain businesses, of course, Facebook is bread and butter, and I think everyone should be on Facebook. But like if you're a lawyer and you want to run ads, Facebook, not everyone's on Facebook looking for, a car accident attorney, you know? So you really want to be on Google and catch that inbound marketing, where people are actually looking for something, and then you can just be there for them,
I wanted to ask a question on, you just referred some of these platforms. So platforms like TikTok and Snapchat, I guess I could understand how you would think like something like Snapchat is like massively undervalued because they've definitely turned their whole thing into like vlog, a news outlet of sorts. If you go on Snapchat, it's really different.
Okay, they got little Snapchat episodes.
I be seeing shit I haven't seen on social media, like on Snapchat. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I don't know how y'all got this, but this is the first time I'm hearing of this.
Really?
Yeah, like or insight to it.
Like,
Insight. I'm like, oh, okay, word. And I'll go down this rabbit hole, like for example, like the Overtime channel. Overtime's always showing high school athletes. I'm like, yeah, bro, I don't see it on my timeline, and now on my Snapchat, somebody's doing some 360 with him, and they say he's from 8th grade. I'm like,
motherfuckers in 8th grade be having bouts. It don't make no sense.
But I was gonna more so speak. So like TikTok, though, you still think something like TikTok's undervalued?
Yeah, not only because of the ads, like e-commerce. If you're selling something on e-commerce on TikTok, I mean, that I feel like that's a home run.
Yeah,
but
so also, with these platforms, because so you're talking using the ad joints on these platforms. You're not talking about just being organic on these platforms. I'm asking.
A little bit. I mean, when I say underpriced attention, it's when you're paying them for the ads.
Yeah.
But as far as
but that's a good move, right? Yeah. Or like, because like I think there's this whole like I got to be organic, or like so like.
Well, honestly, that's what we've been pushing lately. That's kind of where I'm thinking about pivoting, is going less on the paid side, more on the organic.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's actually, it's funny.
Why is that?
I just feel like there's a gap in the market for that, because that's how it started. No one understood ads, digital ads. So a lot of them would want to just put out as much content as it's called content marketing. Just put out as much content as possible, consistently speaking to your audience and giving out free value. So
I feel like that even brings it to like a really clutch point. Like, talk about how a lot of like prospective clients that may be thinking that they're in need of your service, talk about sometimes that disconnect in terms of they not necessarily know what they're missing and what they're asking for, because a lot of times they're trying to get you to actually have the sales, and you're like, okay, so where's the content? Like, oh, I thought you had the content. You're like, no, that's not what I do. But like, but then we had the talks. It's like, and now I know that's something that you're actually brainstorming, is being like, all right, look, I'm a one-stop shop type of dude, so I'm going to be able to offer that.
And
even
I
if it's
hate
not
having to say that to customers.
Right,
they'll have their checkbook out and be like, yeah, so you do this, right? I'm like, no, I don't do that. I do this. And that's why I think partnering with you is so awesome, man, because there's so many people that need that videography service, and nowadays I think the podcast services, running a podcast. So, I think it'd be great to partner with someone who can offer that type of stuff to certain clients. And I think making a product offering that kind of includes all that. Of course, we could do a la carte, where I just need a podcast, I don't need anything else. Okay, cool, we got something for you on that. But you
know what's interesting about that though? Like, I don't think people realize that just having the podcast, that's not the end all be all. Like you like, why do it if you're not going to get it out in front of people? And you're not going to get it out in front of people unless you have some kind of like marketing strategy. You know what I mean? And like, whether that's the podcast, but also like with the podcast, like it's kind of going back to what you were saying about having a product or service offering in your content. Like, I think it's the same thing with like a podcast. Not to say anybody that starts a podcast needs to have a product or service behind it. You can definitely see some success and become like a personality if you got that charisma going for you and stuff like that. But I do think, in this time where like literally everyone's starting a podcast, and I don't say that jokingly, I like the fact that everybody's starting a podcast, because like, why not? You know what I'm saying? Like, we all have shit that we want to say. Why not say it if you have the structure to do so? You know what I'm saying? In this time where everybody's doing that, I do think you can separate yourself if you have something, and you can make it work for you if you just use it as a lead gen to like, hey, come listen to what I got to say. But also, you know what I'm saying, if you need this service, I do this. You know what I'm saying? If you just so happen to need this product, I sell it here. You know what I'm saying? So I think, like you said, like having all of it, the podcast, the marketing, the content that you can pull from the podcast or you can make separately or whatever, like all of that goes into like sales at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you can have a podcast and just do it just to do it and like get no sales. Yeah, you can do that. You know what I'm saying? You can market the shit that you say when you're talking to your friends, and you know what I'm saying? You can do all of that. If you're trying to like get sales, then like you kind of do have to have. I heard this clip the other day of Young Dolph saying like, all of this shit is a machine. Like, people were asking like, what do you put your money into? He was like, I put my money into all of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like all of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's the making of the song. It's the pushing of it. It's the pushing of it on the radio, pushing of it on the internet, pushing of it on TV.
Not just your one song.
And it's consistency.
No,
it's consistency, dog. It's every time. Like, it was on $1 Million Worth of Game. They was like, dog, so you really can't be broke and go independent. Like, nah, like that's why people get deals, because like somebody else will push it for them. You know what I'm saying? So it's very interesting.
And the funny thing is, like putting free value into your content is so valuable nowadays, because somebody will start looking for a service and then be like, well, let me go look at it on YouTube real quick.
Yeah, or let me learn how to do it myself.
Let me learn about this industry. Even if they know they're going to pay someone for it, they kind of want to know what they're paying for so they don't get scammed.
Yeah.
So they'll look at it, they'll look on YouTube and be like, you know, digital marketing, yada, yada. And if my video's on YouTube explaining to you how you can maybe start it yourself and then maybe, you know, pivot to paying somebody.
You establish your expertise.
Yeah, we're building a relationship. I'm establishing, you know, that I can do this for you and stuff like that. So that's what people like. And that's honestly a huge content strategy is just putting out so much free value.
Yeah.
Kind of like Gary Vee does it with the jab, right hook.
Yeah.
The jabs are just free value, value. The right hook is, hey, buy my book. Or whatever.
And people don't understand that. I think people are starting to understand that because, you know, Gary Vee's becoming so like, he's like a monster as far as like his popularity. So I think people definitely are hearing his message of free value, or just like offering value in the content, like not fluff, like real value. And he always says how he literally gives away his best information. And I feel like I try to do the same thing too, because not that I used to like in practice be a hoarder of information, but I definitely used to think like, oh, there's value in I know this and no one else does. But like now I'm like, there's no way I know anything that no one else does. There's no way, because I get it from the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like I learned it on the internet. I'm sure like literally anyone else can type the same thing into Google and like find it. But if I tell them to go and find it on Google, or if I just tell them it from my mouth, now they think I know it. You know what I'm saying? So like now they might hire me because something that I realized, like you can tell motherfuckers how to do, I can tell you exactly how I do this podcast. You're not going to want to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and do, you know what I'm saying? Like you're not going to want to, not everybody's going to want to do the actual things that it take to make the podcast. So if they know that I know how to do it, because I've told them how to do it, they might just hire me to do it for them. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't realize that like people really do value their time over their money. You know what I'm saying? We might not communicate it. Like, you know what I'm saying? We meet those people who, oh, like, can you take it down a little more? Can you take it down? Like, you know what I'm saying? They always want to bargain on price and stuff like that. But you know what I'm saying? Like when it boils down to, okay, like I can't come down any more on price. Like I'll show you how to do it. You can do it yourself if you want to do it. And like, if you do want to hire me, this is the price and I'm not budging. Later, they'll probably come back because they'll value the fact that like, okay, I actually don't want to do this for myself. It's hard.
And it's an analogy that we use in the digital marketing space where it's like never, ever, you know, budge on your price, on your value. You know what I'm saying? Because then you're confusing the person in front of you in saying that, no, I could be worth less if you want me to. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
I'm worth this much.
Yeah.
And if you want to save money, cool. So we'll take out this part of the service. Like if they wanted to do videography service, they wanted the interview cut up into a bunch of clips and then pass over to my team where we push it out on the Omnipresence. And they go, ooh, $5,000, that's a lot of money. I go, you're right, it is a lot of money. So this is what we could do. If you're not willing to pay that, that's fine. So you set up, you go buy yourself $1,000 camera. You set it up, you get some sound guides, you get this, you get that, you know what I'm saying? Get some mics, do your own interview, get someone to ask you the right questions. Then you got to find a way to split up the stuff. And then you can come to me and I'll push the ads for you for just $1,000, $2,000. And they go, nah.
But how much was that again? Yeah, straight up.
While you're talking, the check was good.
Yeah, nah, straight up, bro, straight up. I've seen that happen. I've seen that happen a lot of times, but also I think I mean, we were kind of talking about this yesterday a little bit where, I think you get a better product though, like when you invest into it. Because like what we're talking about is if you do have something that can generate income for you, it's not an issue to like if you spend $5,000 putting together a video and marketing it, but that joint makes you know what I'm saying, $20,000 over the course of like 6 months from just marketing of it. That was a great investment. You know what I'm saying? But I think sometimes people don't realize like that you're actually like, are you trying to get something on the other end of this? Like, are you trying to use this to get something, or are you trying to just like make it just to say that you made it? You know what I'm saying? Because if you're trying to make it just to say that you made it, then yeah, you can go and do it yourself and you can take as long as you want. You can do it for as cheaply as you want. But if you're trying to get like a great thing that people will buy, then you want to get knowledge around. You know what I'm saying? You want to get the best. So we were talking about working on this project and it's like, yeah, we're great videographers, but like, for this particular project, we might want to hire some people who are better than us. You know what I'm saying? Just so that we can focus on the things that we're great at, even though we know how to do anything that has to do with video and audio. Me and Brooke can figure it out between the two of us. You know what I'm saying? But like, it would be a better use of our time, and we would get a better end thing if we didn't focus on 10 different projects or 10 different tasks within a project. We focused on maybe 2 tasks within the project and then outsourced the other 6. You know what I'm saying? And those 6 people who are working on those things are focusing on those things. You know what I'm saying? And they're making the end product great. You know what I mean? So I think people don't think about like the overall investment so much.
Exactly. You know, and that's why ROAS deals are awesome in my business. Is
explain a ROAS.
Return on ad spend.
Oh yeah.
So I love it to when they're like, you know, I just haven't paid for anything this big before. I haven't done anything this big. I've never ran a marketing campaign. I'm just scared. You go, yeah, no problem. So instead of bringing my price down just because you're scared, how about we do this? How about we make a goal to make you $10,000 more this month on top of what you're making now, whatever you're grossing, we're going to make you $10,000 in sales. And I just want 10%, 20%, something like that. So I just get a percent of ROAS
of what you do make. Yeah. That's actually a great tactic. Yeah. And you see a lot of that with what's happening with like affiliate marketing. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, okay, let's not, like there's very low risk, you know, there's almost no risk. Like if I sell some stuff for you, then I get something from that. You know what I'm saying? But we were talking about, I was telling you yesterday, it's funny how you said like, it can be uncomfortable to spend, you know, amounts of money that you've never spent before on something that you've never used before. But like I was telling Brooke the other day, like I'm making it a point to do things that are like uncomfortable because I just keep hearing so much about how much upside there is to, you know, and it's funny because like the crypto space really made me start thinking about like, dog, like the reward you get is equal to the risk you take, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you only get rewarded, or like the amount of reward is in relation to the amount of risk that you put in. You know what I'm saying? So with risk, and it's funny with the word risk, like we kind of take it for granted in a way. Like I feel like I kind of take it for granted. Like I think I'm being risky because this felt a little bit uncomfortable, but like, nah, like sometimes you gotta like, I don't know. I feel like I'm finding myself needing to be more risky. I feel like I've been kind of complacent with my risk lately. Yeah, because I've always been a calculated risk type person, and you know, reaped some rewards. But I'm like, if I would have went a little harder, or if I would have, or if like, because I know I walk away from situations where I am a little bit uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I know if I did more uncomfortable things, like what would happen. So I know I'm making that a point definitely for like the rest of this. I mean, for the rest of my life, really. But like I kind of like pinpointed it a couple months ago. So I'm like, making an emphasis on it. And that kind of goes with the business stuff. I've been putting a lot of money into Nation Entertainment over the last like couple months, dog, in a way that I haven't before. You know what I'm saying? And it's working for me, at least in the early stages. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm glad Brooke mentioned like calculated risk. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, calculated risk is like, you know, how good am I at this craft to be putting my neck out? You know what I'm saying? Like if that's a fact. If Michael Jordan wanted to start dunking from the 3-point line, that's not a big jump from where, you know, the foul line that we know, you know what I'm saying? So if he wanted to just back up a little bit, it's like, no, I'm the best at my craft. I can definitely, you know, stick my neck out a little bit and try something. But if the 9-year-old kid who just started playing basketball is like, I'm gonna start dunking from the 3-point line, it's like, you can take that risk, but that's not very calculated.
And you're not even going to see no type of benefit that makes you want to keep going a little bit. Sometimes we need to see a little bit of like, this is working a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's not like I'm where I want to be, we need some kind of sense of, okay, this is working, or I'm getting there. You know what I'm saying? You kind of need a little bit of small wins to kind of,
also kind of being honest with yourself in terms of the level of risk you take. And then also, and what I meant by like being honest with yourself is like, what is your skill set? Like, are you even able to go ahead and take this risk that you think you're even trying to partake? Because the thing is, so it's like the same thing about trying to learn a new skill and like the difficulty levels. If it's too hard, you're literally going to discourage yourself from ever wanting to do this.
You're not going to do it.
If it's too easy, you may not cultivate the consistency in doing everything. I got it. Like I'm on the next thing. But if it's just at the point where you're like, yo, there's a return in this, but there is some unknown factors, but I make sure I'm controlling everything I can control. Now from there, we got to just see what's up. And it's like always leveling it, see where you're at, and then versus the risk you want to take. And if you're like, if it's a matter, because at the end of the day, it's really just internally you can know the outcome, but like in the physical, we're not there yet. So the outcome is the only thing that's really to be seen. But it's like, what are you it's not like there's some skill sets that are gonna just pop out of the blue, like, oh, I didn't, well, like like maybe internally you're like, oh, I didn't know I could do that. But no, you always could do that because here you are doing it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, just make sure that your skill set are really up to par with the actual risk that you're trying to take. And the only thing that is a risk is because the only answer that can't be questioned is like, what will the end result be? I don't know, but like, I'm banking on myself. I'm pretty sure it's going to be what I'm expecting. And a lot of the times it proves to be better. And even if it doesn't fall through, then sometimes you might have fell just short of the goal, but that's like all you needed. Like, even though you didn't constantly like bet. Now I'm going to my drawing board and I know exactly how I fucked that up. Like, and even with that calculated risk and not being able to fully capitalize it on the way, I was like, I'm so thankful for that, because the perspective that came with is like, that's just making me better in terms of taking the calculated risk in the future. Whereas opposed if you just took some wild risk and you just lost, like, don't let that taint your whole perspective and now make you averse to taking risks, because then you'll be more so leaning towards stagnancy.
Yeah, like, and not taking risk anymore.
Let me put it like this. If you don't take risk, that's not necessarily meaning to say stagnant, but let's just say in terms of growth and expansion, you're kind of okay with what it is. Like,
small upside. You will have small upside.
That's cool. Yeah. If you're cool with that, then that's what it is, but it will cap.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, falling forward is a highlighted word, what you were talking about. Yeah, if you're gonna fail, at least fail forward. You know?
Big facts.
No bullshit. That should just hurt more. Fall on your face, like, damn, I'm closer though.
Big facts. Forward with it. Yeah. You care to share any like goals that you got for this year, at least for like for your business or anything like that?
Honestly, man, like I've definitely pulled back on the old business model. Like I was talking about, trying to do the content creation. So I guess a goal for this year would definitely be to master that and have, consistent clients coming in, consistent work going out, and have some type of partnership like we were talking about. Yeah, sure. That'd be a good, and then, get that to, I don't really have a number goal for that.
Yeah.
As big as possible. You know what I'm saying? Like a few $1 million valuation if we had to evaluate the business or something like that. And then definitely get into the podcast, and like you and I were speaking about is just getting my word out there more. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of fucking gems in this.
Oh yeah, 100%
itself. So like I could definitely even see that for you, Brody. Like I could definitely see how that would be of like high value. Like high value content, high value entertainment. Like that's what we're all about. You know what I'm saying? Like it's something that you don't have to ever like revert your attention from. But like if you just stay tuned, you're gonna get put onto some games.
That valuetainment, like Bad Bet David. Big facts.
But besides that, I mean, year goals aren't really my thing. I'm more looking like 5 years down the road.
Yeah.
Seeing when I can.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that. Like, where do you see this going for you, or what do you see kind of like your career trajectory looking like?
For me, definitely. I mean, for the marketing, I'm kind of like water right now, kind of fluid, just letting it go. You know what I'm saying? But like letting it see how it turns out. But as far as me personally, I'm definitely trying to get into the like the acquisition side of thing, like buying in some businesses, investing in businesses. That's my end goal. Yeah. But I would love to get into that as soon as possible.
Yeah.
If I could buy a business right now, I would do it. You know what I'm saying? Especially with Corona and all that, like everything's cheap right now.
Yeah.
Real estate on the side would be nice. You know what I'm saying? Just to have some,
Are you like a operations guy? Like, can you go into a place and set the operations?
Yeah.
Can you?
Systems and operations.
Yeah.
I love that. That's what gets me off. That's what I like doing. That's what I like talking about.
Yeah.
I can come into a business, look at it and be like, this is wrong. This is wrong. If you move this around, because a lot of people are looking at it from such a low level. They're in the trenches.
They're in it.
They're like, you can come from the top and be like, not doing this right. You're literally missing out on this. The manager you put in there is making everything toxic, like just little things like that. So now systems and operations, like the VAs, and let me take time away from doing this task that I'm doing every day for $10 an hour or something, and hire that out, and then do something else I can do that's $1,000 an hour, signing clients or something like that.
Yeah, that makes hella sense, dog. That makes hella sense.
But yeah, long term is just the business acquisitions.
Yeah,
that's definitely what I'm trying to get into.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. I look forward to talking more with you, man. Like straight up. Yeah, man. I think we can go ahead and like wrap this episode up, unless you got anything else you want to talk about, bro.
Nah, man. I got a nice busy weekend ahead of me. Gotta land the harvest, so to get ready.
Oh yeah,
really,
big facts.
Excited with it. Yeah, got the car loaded.
You got the car loaded.
I'm headed to the field. Gotta do some work.
Big facts. And it's about to be really windy today.
Yeah.
So watch that.
Yeah, I got the hoodie on.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So I'm gonna be kind of chilling, just kind of getting some work done. Okay. Nothing crazy to report. But shit, I guess we'll see y'all back here next Friday, and same place,
give another shout
same
out
time. Yeah. Also, too, like where can people get in contact with you and things like that. If they do want to inquire, you definitely dropped a lot of gems here, so I'm sure people will be wanting to tap in. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. So Facebook, my full name on Facebook. You should see my picture on there. You know what I'm saying? Adrian Brannigan on Facebook. And then I got a business line where you can reach out to me, 301-500-9571.
There you go.
That's the business line. Summit Marketing. Hit me up. Text me, anything. I give out a lot of free value. If you just want to talk and talk about your business, man, that's what I like doing. So
awesome.
Yeah, and we appreciate you for coming through, bro.
Appreciate y'all having me, man.
Awesome. Really appreciate this conversation. And yeah, we'll see y'all next week. Same time, same place. Early.